Hi, it's Jane, and it is the second day of power. I just had my first float therapy session where you're in a sensory deprivation tank with a ton of salt so that your body floats and you lose sense of time and space or weightlessness. You feel weightless. It was not what I expected, which I should know by now. I was really excited and I've been wanting to do it for like years. And you know what happens with expectations. But it was really interesting. I definitely want to try it again. What surprised me, I guess, was one the thing that was really cool is it when you once I relax, like, it feels like you're laying on like a bed. I mean, it's amazing. It's water, but it feels that that's how much buoyancy I guess you have. But I didn't expect to feel like I felt like I had to concentrate on breathing, and like when I noticed myself moving, I would suddenly feel like panic. Like it was strange, but I heard later that that's common. So yeah, I just breathed through it, but it made me a little bit tense. Like I was like afraid that I would start freaking out or something, and I'm not used to feeling that way. So um, yeah, but it was definitely interesting, and I feel exhausted right now, so I think I might, it'll be, I'm sure it would relax my nervous system. Um, yeah, I think I was just like, I was hoping for like revelations or something, like I'm in the womb again and I feel so light and free and I'm having visions, but yeah. So the card I picked for today was Mother Mary, Expect Miracles. So see, it's like, but I'm sure miracles did happen. Actually, I did a reading today that was part of the trade for the floating, and the reading was very interesting. It was all about expression, creative expression, just expression, just having a voice, and how when relationships are unequal, when there's a power differential in relationships, like for instance, traditionally, like women have not had the same power as men in terms of their ability to express their voice. When that happens, there is an incongruence in the relationship. So, if I need to rely on a man to, let's say, make a vote for me because I can't vote, or to make purchases or anything, if he has more power than I do, then even if I really love this man and he loves me, there's something subtle that gets put on that relationship. A burden gets placed on both the man because he has the burden for speaking for me, and on me because I can't be natural. There's always going to be some like manipulation or yeah, if there's a power differential, people can't express naturally. And they can't express love naturally, and that burden gets placed on the kids. And what it just showed was this cycle of I'm not articulating that well right now. I think I'm still working through it, but it it felt very important. It's like just like men in our culture are not permitted to express sadness. Still, it's changing a bit, but generally it has been the case. And women are not, feel guilty about expressing anger. And yet what that does is it just instills it in our children, and the cycle continues. So how do you break that cycle? You give yourself permission to express, and give other people permission to express. And then there's nothing, because what happens when we cannot express is that it becomes shame. Because suddenly I have this feeling that I think I'm not supposed to have, and yet I have it. So I'm going to feel shame about it, and then my kids will feel that, and they'll store those emotions because I can't express them. And also the shame around being like just a woman. If I know that I can't be authentic in my relationship because because there's a power differential, and I have to somehow kind of use the relationship in a way to express my power, like indirectly. There's a part of me that's going to be ashamed of that, because I know I'm not freely giving. I'm not loving in a like a pure way, because there's a vying for power. Yeah. So like, even like the way misogynists talk about women a lot in terms of, how women use their sexuality or whatever, and it's like, yes, women can use their sexuality in negative ways when that is the only power that's left to them. And it's like, yeah, it causes manipulation. When you are helpless or victimized in any way, then it results to people taking desperate measures to be heard or have influence or to get what they want. So yeah, just interesting. It's a rich topic, and something that is coming up a lot. So last night and yesterday I was looking a lot about my work, and kind of yeah, like, what am I actually doing? What is important to me? And it seems to be about encouraging, like, supporting people's inner children supporting people to express their inner child. And, but most people don't go around thinking, I need to express my inner child. So there's like a challenge in how I'm going to reach those people. But what happens is, when our inner child is not expressed, it's because we were not because I have this, because we weren't properly nurtured in some way. It's just like, yeah, when you have like a really good coach or a teacher or an uncle or someone that could see your capabilities, someone that you felt like they were inspired by you, like they were excited about you, they pushed you. And as adults, we don't usually have that anymore, and we spend all of our time encouraging that, usually in our kids or other people or our friends even, and or even our partners, and yet what we long for is to have that for ourselves. And so but it takes, so first it takes like releasing everything that's in the way, like every way we've tried to avoid feeling that, or all of the other people we've put, all the conditioning that we've had that like blocks us from even knowing that that part of us is still alive and wanting attention and wanting to express. That needs to be released. And then it's like this thing about like learning to feel safe again and reconnect with all the feelings that child actually went through, because it didn't receive what it needed. So there's going to usually be some like pain that has to be felt, and like a reintegration into like connecting with the heart and the body, which is what I'm going through, have been going through. And then from there, it's like, okay, now once we're connected to that child, because a child is the only part of us that can really create a life of actual joy, because the child it's like your original self, the self that like as soon as you were brought into this world knew like your soul's purpose and was completely unique and had no limitations yet. And so as an adult, we're here to just be the parent for that child, to provide the circumstances and environment so that that child can actually express through us. So then it's about creating those conditions, right? Like becoming the parent. So really it's about like, and this is what came up in this person's reading today, was like becoming a man, becoming a woman, like finally actually like letting go of the shit that's not you, finally like letting go of the past, honoring your parents and your ancestors and all the things that brought you to where you are today, letting that go, coming back home to yourself, and then starting to make the changes in your life that are going to encourage and support that child to express and then to practice. And then at that time, we really need to be mirrored and encouraged, because we'd never had that before, and so it's very vulnerable. And so this is what I see myself offering, and it's like, but yeah, I still don't know like who, yeah, what that means. It's just I know that I feel pretty sure that that's what I'm here to do. And why? Because that creates a world that is where we're all awake to the magic, right? Where a world that's actually full of imagination and joy, because people are creating from that place and we're all playing together. Like, yeah. So I'm having these realizations, but then I'm also starting to, like, all the doubts are coming up. Like, how do I market that? Can I really do that for people? You know, who am I to do that? And I'm looking at the work I'm already doing, which is like I'm working with private clients and doing these paintings and readings, and I'm like, is it even effective? Like, just really starting to doubt myself. And last night, working on these two paintings, I was just like, my fucking mind was blown again, and it felt really good. Like yeah, no, this work has fucking value. It's amazing. It blows my mind, you know. It's because it's totally beyond me. It's like something is happening here. Trust this process, like, and it made me realize, like, that's my job. It's just to trust the process. So, like, it doesn't have to look like the person I'm working with is like, even if it doesn't seem like, I don't know what the outcome is going to be, you know. Like, I hope the people I work with, they feel amazing, of course, when we're done our work together, and I think they will. But the times where I'm not sure, or where, like, we're in the thick of it and it's like, I don't know what's going to happen, it's like, that's my role, to trust that even though I don't know what's going to happen, that the right thing is happening. And yeah, last night was just affirmation of that. It's like, okay, I just have to really take things one step at a time, and again, take the pressure off myself while fully engaging in the process. And so as I'm, like, going really deep into the business work piece of things, just kind of, I guess, going in and then remembering not to get overwhelmed by it. And that message came through in one of the paintings too, that the world, this masculine aspect of the world, the one of structure and money and having to take action, that world that I'm actually afraid of, or feel overwhelmed by, it needs me. You know, like this painting, like that masculine energy is wounded and it's reaching out to me. It's like, it's nothing for me to be scared of. It's like when they say, you know, like, the one that you desire is desiring you. Like, I've searched for God my whole life only to find that she was seeking me. So just remembering that, and it's really good for me to say it again, because I felt really great about it last night, and then today I kind of forgot again. It's because I get so into it's so easy to I get excited and then I go right into, like, trying to figure it out, and, like, then getting overwhelmed. So to get excited, you know, maybe, yeah, use some of that mind to come up with some ideas, and then to let go again. That's good for now.